Everyone, welcome back to Evolving Vibes. Brian here. Today I thought we would do something a little bit different. As I said, I like going on and on with witchcraft and the pagan beliefs, as well as some aspects of how we practice. So I thought we'd do the same thing today. And today's video is going to be on the 13 goals of a witch. Now, just to give you a little preface with this, this was found in a book that Scott Cunningham had released in 1988. Scott Cunningham, if you remember or if you know, was a really big proponent with the Wicca movement and did a lot of different types of books for the Wicca religion. So that all being said, I've come across the 13 goals of which a few different times in my life, and I finally adapted it into my lifestyle. Now, I'm not Wiccan, I'm pagan, I'm a witch, but I don't follow any very specific guidelines or rules. I basically go as my beliefs lead me down my path. So that all being said, I think this is more universal and applies to almost anyone in the world, let alone just pagan, Wiccan, witch, druid, whatever you might identify with spiritually. That all being said, let's talk just a bit about each one of the 13 goals, right? So the first goal is to know yourself. And I think that's an important goal for every aspect of your life, whether you're just in your spiritual being or in your everyday being, but just getting to know yourself. I do a lot of shadow work, and I'm a big proponent for it, with getting to really dig down deep inside and try to figure out exactly why we do certain things. Knowing ourselves means that we also know what buttons we have and what buttons we allow other people to push. That being said, it can disarm those buttons just by knowing ourselves and knowing who we are and being comfortable with who we are and what we are. So really knowing yourself goes a long way in all aspects of your life, but certainly in the craft, you really do have to know yourself in order to be able to put your intentions forward and expect any type of quality manifestations, right? The second goal of a witch is to know your craft, right? And that makes sense. Know how to draw a circle, know how to call in the elements, and just as important, releasing the elements back. Really doing a lot of spiritual work on yourself and on whom you are, as well as knowing the basic aspects of how you want to work a spell or a ritual to get the desired manifestations from the intent you're putting out in the universe. And so really knowing your craft and really knowing universal cause and effect and a lot of the other universal laws, basically all of them really, and the 7 hermetic principles. Really get to know that, to really get to know your craft and really get to understand exactly what it is we want to do, what kind of intentions we want to put out there, how to put them out there, how do we do it specifically to get the manifestation that we actually want. So know yourself is definitely important, right? Know your craft is equally as important. So what you're probably going to grab out of all 13 goals is each one is equally as important as the previous one and as the following one. They're all very, very important to who we are and what we do. So the third goal is learn. Always continue to learn. And this goes again through all of your life. If you ever wake up saying, I know it all, there's nothing anyone can teach me, you're in for a horrible day. And if you continue that, you're not going to have a very enchanting life. Knowing that when you wake up, there's going to be a few different things you're going to learn today. I try to learn between 3 and 5 things a day. A lot of times by accident, but if I wake up, there's certain things I always say, you know what, if I don't know a word today, I'm going to stop what I'm doing, write it down so I can look it up later and get a good idea, and then I'm going to apply that in a few different situations throughout my day. So things like that. Just get out there and learn. Read the books on magic. Read the books that, as you're looking and browsing for a book, it just jumps out at you. And apply what resonates with you. Doesn't resonate? Let it go. We don't have to do everything. What we do have to do, though, is learn what works with us and what works for us, and continue that process all the way down the road, because no matter how deep you are in your practice, there's always going to be something new you're going to learn, and something new you're going to be able to apply as you go down your path. Another big aspect that I think is really important for new witches in particular, as well as practicing witches, it's really applying knowledge with wisdom, understanding when to do something, when to leave something alone, understanding when to hold on to something and when to release something. All very important aspects of our day-to-days and our magic. Taking the knowledge that we have and applying it with wisdom is huge to the benefit of our life. That says a lot with types of spells people do. Some people will do this or that. Others won't do this because it's not something they want. I know that when I try to do abundance spell, manifestation spells, it's for what I need and to really get where I need to be. I'm very specific about it versus I want to win the lottery. So applying knowledge with wisdom goes a long way in any part of your practice and any part of your daily being, right? Another thing that you would want to consider is, as we've talked about almost every video so far, is achieving balance, getting that yin and that yang going, really working at focusing on balancing yourself out through meditation, through grounding, getting out there, and just being able to temper and to have that balance. And I always think of the temperance card when we talk about balance, and it's like that one couple of toes in the water, one foot on land, and just maintaining that balance. So very important. And we may not always achieve balance, but if we have that goal of working at achieving balance, it goes a long way. It allows us to grow daily, and before you know it, you're balanced out and you're feeling really good about how you did it. And it's easier and easier and easier to do once you do the active work up front. Another huge important thing, and I can speak of this personally, is keeping your words in good order. Words have energy, and once we put that energy out there, we can't get it back. It's like a gun blast. And so how we use our words, when we use our words, and the inflection of which we use our words makes a huge difference to someone's perception of reality and what their reality is turning into based upon your words. So really, no matter what you do, one of the things I always talk about, and if you've watched these videos, you've heard it here a few times, it's better to respond than it is to react. And choosing your words wisely is the most important aspect of that. Rather than get into it with someone or get into someone's face or go into this and that over a situation, sometimes it's better just to step back, think about how you're going to respond to this, think of the words you're going to use, and in doing so, that tends to go much further. And you can't have spells without words, right? So even though we do rituals and we do spells and we actually put intention out there, the one thing a lot of witches forget, or maybe don't even realize, is we're the most important aspect of any spell, any ritual. It's us and our energy that's putting that intention out there to manifest, right? Same thing goes with our words. So if we're using really low vibe words and yelling at someone, swearing at someone, using really words that really make another person feel bad, we're manifesting and we're doing things that are going to have a ripple effect down the road. So it's much better to step back from that, walk away pleasantly, walk away with a smile, or at least think of one good thing to say and then leave the situation. Again, taking that high road, because our words have energy, and our energy sometimes, if misdirected, can really do some harm, as well as sometimes harm to us. So important to consider. And that principle goes hand in hand with the next principle, which is keep your thoughts in good order. Now, that can be external thoughts towards other people, but a lot of times it's our own thoughts against us. calling ourselves dumb sometimes. Oh, that was a pretty stupid mistake you made, Brian. Calling us, limiting us automatically. There's no way today you're going to be able to get to 5 lessons to learn. There's no way you're going to have time today to really apply one new word into situations throughout your day. That's what I mean. And so if I turn around and say I can't, and say it won't happen, and do all of these things that are lower vibe, that's going to be what I get out of life, and that's going to be what I get out of my day. However, if I turn around and switch that and put the higher vibe words out there, like, I can't wait to get to learn 5 new lessons today. I can't wait to get that new word so I can put that into sentences. I can't wait to get to work and really apply some of the thoughts our team put together last week in a meeting and make that work well. So you see what I'm saying? It's all about how we think. If you think you're going to be late, you're going to be late. If you think you're going to oversleep, you're going to oversleep. Tell me that hasn't happened to you. So that all being said, our thoughts, our words are just like us, magical beings that once spoken, once created in our brain, has a lot of energy and a lot of power that we're not always able to harness out so well. So really be cautious of the words you use to yourself as well as other people, and equally so, be cautious with the thoughts that we have, both towards ourselves, our inner dialect, as well as others. Another aspect that we want to consider is number 8, celebrating life. I say this a lot. Yesterday, I went to Salem, Mass with 3 other friends. It was a fantastic day. I thought about whether I was going to make a video for this week based upon that, and quite honestly and selfishly, I wanted to enjoy the moment and celebrate my friends and what we were doing that day. And that's what I mean about celebrating life. Getting out there and just enjoying the moments. I must have said half a dozen times yesterday to a couple of friends of mine, just stop and enjoy the moment. Listen to that water lapping up against the dock. Listen to those birds. Look at the energy that's around us right now. It really sounds corny sometimes, but it's celebrating life, and it's those moments that make up our life, those moments that make up our hours and our weeks and our days, right? So let's celebrate and enjoy each moment that we can. Also, if we're having a moment that's a little bit less than enjoyable, have the confidence and understanding that this is a moment, it's going to pass. It's like clips on your video throughout your whole day. We have 24 hours of video every day of our lives. There's going to be certain clips that are in there that we can edit out. So if you're having one of those day moments, understand it's just a moment. Get through that moment, and then you can edit it out of your day. You can put it somewhere and where it's not going to have that energy against you. But you really do have to celebrate life and celebrate the moments that you have. And take comfort in the fact that some of the onward moments are temporary and not going to be there all so long, and you can get through it. Another aspect that most everyone that I speak with does, and I'm sure you do too, and that's attuning yourself with the cycles of the earth. So attuning yourself to the phases of the moon, attuning yourself to the aspects of each beginning, middle, and ending of a season, and attuning yourself to nature, getting yourself there and tuning yourself back into the vibe frequency that you need to be at. And that's grounding, walking on the dirt, walking on the beach, being outside, and just adjusting your vibe to the vibe that is going to be most important for you and the most comforting for you. Very important to do. And so attuning yourself to earth, attuning yourself to the seasons. We're celebrating solstice for the next 3 days, right? It's the 20th, 21st, depending on who you talk to, 22nd, 23rd. But we're celebrating a new beginning. We're celebrating the beginning of spring. We're celebrating a change of season or a turning of the wheel. So it's something to celebrate, and it's something that being attuned into earth allows us that energy as well as that childlike joy of just like, oh, great, Ostara's here. I'm going to have some fun with that. I'm going to do this type of ritual, or Avon, whatever it might be. Just attuning yourself to the cycles of the earth as well as to nature goes a long way in allowing you to go down your path a little bit more easy and with a little bit less resistance. The 10th aspect of the goals of the witch is breathing. Breathing and eating correctly. So none of us have to have a vegan diet. None of us have to only eat salads or greens. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course. But if you want pasta, you want meat, you want whatever it might be you want, understand that you want to do it in balance, right? Everything is in balance. So if I'm going to have a couple of pieces of blueberry pie, I'm going to balance that out with actually doing just a wee bit of exercise, maybe going for an extra longer walk, maybe going for a run, whatever it might be. But breathing well and exercising make a big difference. Taking in that deep breath to cleanse and push away all the negativity and all of the fatigue, all of that. If we do that throughout our day, it makes a huge difference in our day. If we breathe well while we're meditating, that meditation goes a long way. So really learning how to breathe for you. Like when I do videos for relaxation or hypnotherapy, what I try not to do is breathe along with the person. I'll say take a deep breath, I'll wait up to 5 seconds and continue the process. The reason I do is I find that everyone breathes differently, right? So if someone's listening to my voice trying to breathe for them, it's going to take them out of that state that we're trying to get them in. Same thing goes with our meditation. If you're listening to a guided meditation and they're breathing very much different than your pattern, it throws you off. So just learn how to breathe for yourself. Block that out if you use auditory aids, but if you don't and you just meditate with music, really focus on that breathing. That really does put you in that state. And throughout your day, that can be a grounding method for you. So if you're having one of those onward moments we just talked about, take that deep cleansing breath. Visualize all the positivity coming in as well as the tools necessary and available to you to correct this onward situation. And then breathe out the anxiety, the negativity, the self-doubt, the internal dialogue that's no longer serving you. Breathe it all away so that you have the solution. So see what I mean by breathing? Breathing in itself can be a spell. And breathing in itself can be one of the most powerful tools that we have available to us throughout our whole day that come from within. Now the 11th of the goals of the witch is to exercise the body, just like we talked about with learning and studying and exercising the mind, just as we talked about breathing so that we can exercise the lungs as well as relax the body. The next is exercise, getting out there, going to nature, going for walks. It's mutually beneficial. You're increasing your vibe, you're working your path, and you're getting some exercise in. It's win to the third power. So definitely get out there and do some exercise. And if you're saying, well, I don't have woods to walk into, find a nice area that you trust and that is comfortable to you and just go for walks in that area. There's a lot of different ways of exercising. I'm not going to list them all because it's all up to you. Each one of us does our exercise differently. But whatever works for you, whatever resonates with you, do it. So another aspect of this, and we were just talking about it just a little bit, the 12th goal of the witch is meditation. To really get in there and meditate, to look at where you want to be, what you want from this meditation. Is it to relax and recharge? Is it to help you go to sleep? Is it to meet a spirit guide? Is it for divination? Whatever the goal is for that meditation, put that focus and energy into what you're going to be going for and utilize your own breathing to help get you there. It's most important to meditate, and if you've not done it regularly, you can certainly find a lot of guided meditation videos available to you. I have a couple in my playlist, so feel free to go over and look if you'd like. But meditation is important, so definitely work on doing it. The more often you do it, I promise you and I guarantee you, the easier and easier and easier it gets to do next time. And now, last but not least, the 13th goal of the witch. And I had a little bit of time with this one because by Scott Cunningham, it's honor the Lord and the Lady. And if that resonates with you, certainly do that. Wiccans do worship two deities, maybe more, but two main deities that they actually worship is the goddess and I should say the God or Lord and the Lady. And if that resonates, do it. Now, if you get very specific deities that you worship them. Talk with them. Do things. Leave offerings here and there throughout your week. If you're having that onto situation, take some time out. Really talk with your deity like a counselor and listen to that inner intuition in that voice, because that can be them talking back to you and giving you what you need for a response or for an answer. I work with Hecate, so when I'm actually honoring my deity, it's Hecate. You know, I also work with Bridget, so same thing. When I'm honoring my deity, it's Bridget. So Hecate, Bridget, and whomever I may be working with or that I work with. But I'll talk with them throughout my day and my week. If I need some extra oomph to get something done, or for protection, I'll talk with them and, you know, just listen to see if I'm getting any of that internal dialogue that I need and things that I might need to hear, my intuition, because a lot of times that's them responding back with my answers. Now, you can say certainly that I'm calling in their energy versus an actual deity. It's all up to you how you want to say that. But I call in that energy of the characteristics of that deity because it helps me manage myself, manage the situation better, or a lot of times it just offers me peace. So there's a lot of good reasons to do it, and certainly, like everything else on this list, the more often you do it, the easier and more natural it becomes. But if you don't start doing it, you're never going to get it done. So I do hope you enjoy this video. Let me know what you think. Please be sure, like, subscribe, leave me a comment, ring that notification bell right there, and let me know, hey, what you think, what you might see for other videos, or what you might want to see for video topics, and just any feedback. So, I do hope you enjoyed the video. I look forward to seeing you all again tomorrow.